What's going on, guys? Good afternoon, good evening. It's about 3:05 Eastern time at the time of recording this. I'm gonna do a little market rundown, recap, watch list into the end of the day, and we'll have it posted at some point this evening. Want to go through kind of some of the market action, a little bit of watch list. I'll try to be more focused on some individual names, themes, groups. Versus the index action. But really briefly, I'll talk about the cues. I do like that we're holding yesterday's low. We just got an inside day here today. It's a bank holiday. Happy Veterans Day to everyone out there. But yeah, we do just an inside day on the cues. A little bit of relative weakness compared to some other areas of the market. We got the Dow Jones actually up 1.25%, just shy of all-time highs on the back of some energy strength and healthcare strength. If you see the XLV and XLE ETFs, how they're kind of breaking out or continuing into the highs into the end of the session. For the most part, I've been pretty reluctant isn't the right word, but selective, I suppose. I've had a little bit of a tough time getting some traction with some positions, and I'm really trying to implement the one good trade mentality or approach to the market, to where I'm really just looking to execute one repeatable, consistent, setup that I can see and prepare for, and I'm willing to hit time and time again, whether it be a post earnings setup, whether it be I'll pull back to the 20 May, whether it be some sort of red to green go signal against a moving average, right? Really just looking to do something repeatable, gain some traction, and kind of get out of a little bit of funk and drawdown that I'm in. I'm trading really small size on all my positions right now, in about a 6.5% drawdown off of highs. Really just want to get some traction and get things going. It's usually during these scenarios, it's always a mix of self and the market environment as well. I'm not going to say the market environment's been choppy, this and that, because there has been extremely good opportunities that are repeatable and are part of my system that I just haven't executed as well. So really just need to kind of tone it back, dial in on what I can do repeatedly, and just go do that, get some traction, get going, get one good position, get some cushion, move my stop to break even, remove that risk, find another good position, good trade, and do that over and over again until all of a sudden I've got an account that I can ride, right? So anyways, some of these post earnings setups, I want to talk about this Rivian first. Mostly this is a trade that I really should have executed really well. Big earnings move. This stock that I've been tracking in this base for quite some time here. And, really surprise earnings move here of up about 25% that day, followed by 2 days of rest with lower wicks, in there. And then, on Monday, saw it continue, follow through and follow through today. So really impressive, 5-day sequence right here. And could have easily gotten involved in this, at some point on Friday or even Monday. And especially looking at the hourly, looking for hourly higher lows, looking for kind of, tight areas to risk off of. This is probably like the cleanest spot that I see, right? You get this, flagging action right there, and then you get your first hourly higher low, and then you go and you take out that, opening high right there. That's generally how I like to operate, right? See a stock that made a big move, and then shift over to the hourly and look for some tight areas of consolidation and some sort of trigger on this to manage my risk, right? To signal presence of buyers and to manage my risk. So a little bit bummed about that. Lemonade is setting up pretty nicely post earnings. There's another one that made a big move last week. Wednesday was about 35%. Since is consolidating pretty nicely, building on nice flag post earnings. I think this could be in play as early as tomorrow to get involved in. And then I've been tracking this Unity They had earnings as well on Wednesday. Nice recovery over the 50-day moving average. We had this like little 3-day drift into the end of the week here. Nice remount on Monday over these levels, and then inside day today. I've tried this a few times. Looking over here at the hourly, I like that we're holding yesterday's gap. I like that we're kind of consolidating above some of this earnings range here. I've tried this a couple different times and gotten stopped out, and going to continue to keep my eye on this. I'm just kind of searching for that hourly higher low. I thought we had it at the open right here. I thought we had it in the afternoon right here. But just not quite ready yet. And again, I'm really trying to get extremely tight risk and high risk reward on some of these positions. And I know the give take with that is going to mean that I'm going to get stopped out and I'm going to have some losing streaks. So and I'm okay with that. That's part of my strategy. But when it occurs in kind of a cluster, it just kind of is a little bit frustrating. A couple different areas of the market that I think need to be noted. Obviously this Oracle's been, super weak. Today we've got NBIS trading below the 50-day moving average for the first time of this entire rally, going back to May when we got back over that. Stock was, $25 back then. This is our first time below the 50-day moving average post earnings as well. And then CoreWeave is down 16% on earnings, below $90. I don't know if we're below this range yet. No, not quite. And then there's been a little bit of relative weakness in names like Irene, Cipher. So just some of these HPC data center type stocks have just had a little bit of relative weakness. These are down 4 days in a row, undercutting the 20 MA. Probably, a good area to see, a bit of recovery, but just not exactly what you want to see for this area of the market. And, I'm a little bit mindful of that. Dell also, another one, right? That's pretty weak. Bouncing back a little bit today, but, pretty nasty. I mean, this was looking incredible back up here just under 170 and back down under 140 today. Okay, so and then one area of the market that we've been focused on and talking about that I think is really standing out in a big way is whatever you want to call it, some of these cloud stocks, cybersecurity. I've kind of always grouped these together, in ZS, Crowd, MDB, Snowflake, Net. And then, Twilio, again, not sure if that, fits or any of that, but I've always just kind of grouped these together. Snowflake, nice red to green here yesterday. Again, this is just a nice orderly pullback, undercut of the 20 MA and, strong close. And then today here, this is basically like my go signal that I use. Or I try to implement right there, where you've got a bullish open gap, you've got an area of support right there, then you gap down and go red to green, and it's just really clear risk to reward on this trade against yesterday's close and today's low of day. I think this is looking really nice. Net, gapped up on earnings, pulled back in, put in this bullish engulfing candle, and again we're just kind of setting up right here over the 9 and the 20. Crowd extremely tight inside day, up at highs. This has probably been one of the stronger leaders of this area of the market. And then MDB, I still have a position in this from an average of 330. Bought some here this day, and then added to my position again on this day at those 2 arrows. Again, another one, on Friday, as the QQQ, right, is breaking below the 50 SMA, these stocks are just flagging into their 20 MA. So, that's something I look for relative strength. And we're just kind of building out up here. And DDOG as well. I think this area of the market is just, really, really impressive. I'm glad I have, some positioning there. EOSE, right, and some of these battery stocks, nice inside day today. EOSE seems to be, one of the stronger ones of the group. You've got AMPX in there as well. A little bit weak today. What else do we have here? SLDP had this big move post earnings, just kind of building out right now. But EOSE is the one that I really want to focus on. Again, this is something that I should be hitting on Friday over about 15:30. right there on the hourly chart, through this little mini base on the hourly right there. That's really the spot that I should be getting at. Undercut right at the 20 MA, remounting previous day's high. I mean, that's textbook right there. And now just kind of waiting for the first little higher low to be built out, whether it be on the hourly or the daily. This is something that I'm really going to focus on. And to be quite frank, I don't really care what like AMPX and some of the other ones are doing. EOSC is the one I want. This is, I think, the best behaving one, and is one that I'm going to focus on. And then, with that sector, there's a little bit of a, subgroup, which is these solar stocks, which over the past, 3 weeks to a month, we've been talking about how these are being looked at, really about 2.5 weeks. These are being looked at as likely as energy storage companies versus like solar manufacturers. And, more people are starting to kind of catch on to that narrative. Which is good to see. So, CSIQ's made, the biggest move, first day of consolidation today. Excited to see how this builds out. Run is recovering a lot of its earnings move. NXT is kind of the more, maybe institutionally supported stock, like the CCJ of the solar stocks, if you compare it to the nuclear group. That's kind of how I view NXT. What else can we go over? Open Door, obviously huge earnings reversal on Friday. Nice continuation throughout the week. This stock continues to probably be one of the best opportunities in the market. Just looking at this weekly chart, looking at the momentum that it has, and the just the range and the story, the newness of the company with the new CEO coming in, the founder coming back, all the changes that they're implementing, is something that is likely going to be really really special for this company, and they're in a very interesting industry that they can really disrupt, and I think they're going to. I think this is one of the bigger opportunities right now, and deserves a spot on the screen at all times. Couple other things we can just kind of scan through. FLNC, right? This is one of those battery stocks that having a little bit of a tough time. TE, I actually do really like this look. I can probably put that next to EOSE in terms of focus. Just want to kind of run through some of the things I'm looking at. See, again, this is just a little bit of the frustration that I've got right now, is like this XPEV on this day was really excited about this stock, and this kicker candle. Like, I've traded hundreds of these kicker candles to where you get a close at lows of on a chart that's really interesting and attractive, and then you buy this kicker candle gap up, and it showed a lot of promise on Thursday, right? And then Friday just completely reverses all of that move, down 6%, back at the lows of Wednesday pretty much, and then but right back at it on Monday, another kicker candle gap up, and it just wasn't on my radar as much as it should be. Kind of chopped me around, and was just pretty frustrated. I mean, man, that's tough. Big gap down, big gap up, big gap down, big gap up. But man, would have really loved to have a position on this. Congrats if you do, because that's an awesome look. XBI, another area of the market that's pretty strong today, into new highs. Rig energy stock, more of an oil stock. Nice little flag breakout there. Very actionable, very repeatable. Argentina stocks, ARGT. Really like this look following the election of some the Javier Milei's party winning the midterm elections. By the way, this is setting up really nicely in this flag. If this is a post-earning stock, which essentially treating it the same way. Same thing with like GGAL, YPF, right? These are all looking fairly attractive. Let's get back to kind of where we were. Joby, nice look down there. Pump, this is probably one of the better looks. This is also one of those battery storage companies. It says oil and gas, but they've got an area of their business that is battery storage, and data center energy type stuff right there. This is the highest volume ever, close at $11.10. We got an inside day here today. If we go and break 11.10, that is something that I will be looking to take out of this flag here. You got the 90 EMA all caught up on that. Roku, looks all right. Twilio, again, just kind of searching for that higher low. I like this undercut on Friday, and in the push it's made, really looking to see if we can build out a little bit of a higher low. Just a clear presence of buyers on this and an area to risk off of, because as of right now, I'd have to put my stop either all the way down at Friday's low or at yesterday's low, and I'd rather be a buyer at yesterday's low if we kind of wick down into that support rather than stopping out there. So kind of waiting for this to set up a little bit more clearly for me. Zscaler, man, awesome stock. SoFi, really love this inside day here. You've got a pretty clean trigger at about 31 going into tomorrow that I'll be looking at. Amazon, nice inside day. I'm gonna be watching that closely. This PEGA, I'm pretty interested in. I want to see it kind of build out over $60, get a clean remount of the 9 and 20, get back over these earnings, gap up low. We'll be looking at that. IWM is probably the index I'm tracking more closely. I want to see if we get over this 245 spot, the highs from 2021, the highs from post-election, and we're just kind of dancing around that right now. I think if we trigger through that, that would really activate, some areas of the market right now. Man, MTB looks hot. Lyft, this is looking really nice. Again, man, just some of these are just kind of getting away from me, and I need some consolidation. I need some build out in order to get involved in these. Miss my shots down here at this 20 to 21 spot, and just kind of need to find my way in. Need to find my way into that. Yeah, kind of rambled a little bit. We'll try to be a little bit more direct in some of these, but yeah, I think that's about all I've got. EOSE, Pump, SoFi, Lemonade, pretty high on my list right now. Snowflake, Twilio, Unity, throw in there as well. Lemonade, I already said that. Yeah, enough.